Alright guys, so it's been about a week since the last update, so I think it's about time for me to update the PvP tier list first, and then I will be following up with the PvE tier list for you guys, and that is going to be for the super late April 2023 tier list here, guys. And there are some changes, there are some slight, movement between the ranking right now, especially because of the addition of the attack speed comp. But I'll have to say the general overall tier list is not too bad, or it's not too much of a shift or anything like that. Just slight ranking changes between the cookies up onto the top ranking. But let's get into it, guys. Of course, this is going to be based on my opinion as well as my experience within the pure vanilla server and reaching around Grandmaster 2, Grandmaster 3 every single time within the top 500. But let's get into it first. Don't use, of course, it's going to be always consisted of Fig, Sonic, and Tail, unless Fig Cookie does actually get a magic candy soon and is viable. But until then, these three cookies are going to be part of that don't use forever. Next one is going to be the C tier here, guys, and it is going to be Chili Pepper with the little slight buff that she got. She's usable. Dark Choco, we got Raspberry as well as Pastry, Lilac, Poison Mushroom as well as Tiger Lily. We thought Lilac will be used inside of the attack speed comp, but the attack speed comp right now does not even need any of the old members except for Madeline. So, Lilac still going to be part of that C tier, still not that great. All right, and maybe hopefully in the near future, Pastry could actually get a magic candy, and maybe Pastry could actually become viable within the attack speed comp as well. Next one is going to be the B tier, and it's going to be consisted of Strawberry Crate, Moon Rabbit, Kumio, Black Raisin, as well as Cherry Blossom, Twizzy Gummy, Snow Sugar, Mango, Mint Choco, as well as Sparkling and our Candy Diver. Mint Choco as well did get a slight buff, but within the attack speed comp, once again, it's just not enough, guys. You still need a pretty darn good sustain, and Mint Choco's heal is just not enough to heal. And also on top of that, the stat that Mint Choco has, unless he also gets a magic candy and gets a unique buff, I don't think he's going to be used inside of the arena for a while, unless you just don't have any healer. Next one is going to be the A tier. There's one cookie that has been added, and it is going to be Milk Cookie with the magic candy, Licorice with the magic candy, Affogato, as well as Cocoa and Pumpkin Pie. So I'm slowly bringing down Pumpkin Pie into the tier list here, guys. Because of the fact that some of the comps are just not being used at all anymore, and Pumpkin Pie within the arena, just her viability within it right now is just not good enough. Yes, she can summon the Pompon and kind of deal some damage, but with some of the comps being out of the meta and her HP pool just being one of the lowest within the Magic class, she's just not going to be a viable option for a lot of you guys to use. There's just better option like Prune Juice right now. And now moving on to the final one before we get into the top ranking, and that's going to be the S- tier. These cookies are going to be decent. You guys can use within certain specific teams and things like that, but are just going to get outshined by a lot of the other comps that are being used within the meta. And we have finally starting off with Dark Cacao, and Financier is joining this tier. We got Crunchy Chip, who has fallen off a little bit since the release of the attack speed comp, as well as Red Velvet, T-Knight. The one-shot comps are kind of moving down, especially with these two variations. And then we got Sea Fairy Classic, right? Just one of the worst legendaries right now because of how old she is, and she did not get any updates so far, or any buff. And then we got Rye with the Magic Candy, kind of fell down as well with the Rye comps, just not enough damage. With Pure Vanilla and all the other ones. We got Caramel Arrow, also just not very good. Tried it out with the attack speed comp, didn't have any real good success. Just didn't do any damage, honestly, compared to someone like Madeline right now. We got Sorbet. Sorbet probably needs some sort of magic candy as well, but slowly kind of goes up and down, especially because of how unique their ability is. But right now, especially in the arena, Sorbet also cannot survive and deal enough damage with the topping setting. And then we got Pinecone. Pinecone, you guys saw a comp that I did share with the attack speed comp, but it's very specific and it's very unique. And honestly speaking, there are better options. It was just a comp to share to people who did not maybe have like Madeline leveled up, or try to use an attack speed comp without someone like Kouign-Amann as well. And then we got Eclair is a viable option to replace Moonlight for, but of course it's just a replacement, not the best option right now. And then we got these supports with Cotton, decent healer, decent all around support. We got Pomegranate, decent support as well right now. We got Macaron, decent but just not good enough. We got Carol. Carol did get a little bit of a buff, honestly speaking, but I don't think it's enough to go up to the S tier. And the reason why I say a buff is because of the fact that Carol's ability is actually really, really good, especially if you are able to get her to stay alive with Madeline in order to decrease his cooldown as well as increase his overall crit damage and crit percentage. But just, still, it's just decent. If you have her leveled up, you can use her, but you don't necessarily need to actually level her up. And then we got Cream Unicorn, Almond, as well as Clotted Cream. Clotted Cream just didn't get enough of a buff, even with the light damage. Kind of just used as a whistle healer, honestly speaking, after he uses his skill once. We got Oyster as well as Prophet. Prophet is kind of moving down the tier as well right now because of Frostcomp is slowly getting out of the meta right now. And now let's get on to the actual meta as well as the SSS tier here, guys. And the meta tier, I'm literally just going to be filling it up with the cookies that are being used almost all of the time here, guys, and the main core members of Arena right now. And of course, it is going to be consisted of Moonlight and Stardust. First, the standard double, DPSs that we have going on here with someone like Double Tank with Hollyberry. And we have Madeline as well as Kouign-Amann. Of course, it is Madeline with the Magic Candy, the two core members of the attack speed comp right now. So Moonlight and Stardust, the combo here, and then we got Madeline and Kouign-Amann, the combo here. So these two combos are pretty much what Arena is kind of consisted of, and then you mix and match the rest of the cookies. And then, of course, we still have Pure Vanilla as well as Hollyberry, the two ancients that are being used almost in every single team, almost, all right, because Pure Vanilla is also replaceable by someone like BTS right now, because we're countering stuns, because stuns are going to be the counter to attack speed comps in some cases, especially someone like Brute, all right. So this is going to be like the meta right now, I will have to say. You'll see majority of the players, whether it be like 60% using actually the Moonlight and Stardust as the defense, and then you will see, Madeline and Kouign-Amann in the other like 30 to close to 40%. And then you'll see some wacky teams here and there. But let's move on to the SS tier now. And these cookies are going to be the ones that are being used here. And they're pretty darn good here still. So we're going to be going out with the Werewolf, Capsaicin, Purple Yam, and Brute. These guys are going to be the replaceable 4 different, secondary tank alongside Hollyberry and major standard comps using someone like Moonlight and Stardust. And, even someone like Capsaicin can be used along with, Kouign-Amann and Madeline as well. But I think these cookies are going to be your top choices for your secondary tank, especially if you do not have someone like Hollyberry as well. These cookies are going to be very, very good. But you can see that Capsaicin is not absolutely meta in my opinion anymore. There's just a lot more replacement, and you shouldn't be discouraged, in my opinion, that you don't have Capsaicin. Of course, you should still try to go and actually pull him, but I don't think it's something that's gonna make a major difference in your arena success rate or your win rate, even if you have him or don't have him. And now moving on to the main DPSs for a majority of the teams, is going to be consisted of someone like, Vampire Magic Candy right now. Very, very good combo with someone like Madeline and Kouign-Amann. We also have Black Pearl, who's also a really, really good DPS for the, Kouign-Amann and Madeline combo with the attack speed. We still got Sherbet and Frost Queen. I believe that they're still decent as an offensive, team, especially if you guys are going up against a standard double tank comp with Moonlight and Stardust, because, they're still not using Monaco or anything like that. So if you guys still have Sherbet and Frost Queen, it is going to be a viable option for you guys to still use as an offensive team. But I have to say, Frost comp does lose, majority of the time to the attack speed comp. So keep that in mind. It's like playing rock, paper, scissors, right? And then last one is going to be Blueberry Pie. Blueberry Pie is still really, really good within the one-shot comboed with Moonlight, Stardust, Frost Queen. We also seen something like Latte come out with Sea Fairy. But that's pretty much it. But I have to say, Blueberry Pie still a really good DPS, but someone that I don't think you should necessarily like invest everything into right now, just because of the current meta shift. But I have to say again, she's a really good DPS and she does a lot of damage. So now moving on to the S tier. All right, so are going to be the Milky Way, Space Donut, the part of the one-shot comp. Like I said, one-shot comps are slightly coming down because of the ability of one-shot comps being countered by attack speed comps, as well as enemy brutes and things like that. So I have to say they're still really good, really great method in climbing the arena, especially if you don't have all of the meta cookies. But in the higher ranks, and as you guys slowly climb up, it's going to be harder and harder to actually counter a lot of the teams with just one-shot comp. So just keep that in mind. And then we still have Mollisons as well as Wildberry, a great secondary tanks alongside someone like Werewolf, Capsaicin, Purple Yam, and Brute, but slightly below them in the usage as well. So I'll put them in the S tier. And then we got the DPSs. Squid Ink is still really good, but I'll have to say not as good as these, especially with the one-shot comp kind of slightly going down. And then we got Captain Caviar. Of course, these two are the viable members of the one-shot comp. And then we got Prune Juice. Prune Juice is decent, but I would say has fallen slightly within the arena as well. We got Espresso and Latte, the two coffee cookies. They're really good, but they're not as good as the SS tier. And, Latte has a combo, but it's really hard to use as well. Espresso, just decent as well. Possibly used within the one-shot comp. And I'll have to say, finally, we got Herb. Parfait. Parfait is decent as well. And we got Cream Puff, who's also actually a decent healer within the attack speed comp with the crit boost and things like that. So that's pretty much going to be concluding the arena tier list for late April 2023, moving on to May as well, until the next update is going to be coming out. I don't know who it's going to be. There are a lot of leads saying that it is going to be another legendary. I hope personally that it's not going to be, but with the amount of time we have left, which is going to be about 3 weeks, it actually might be possible. We'll have to see how it goes, but I hope you guys found the video helpful. Let me know down in the comments below if you guys need anything, if you guys have any questions or anything like that. But thanks for watching, guys. I will update you guys on the PvE soon as well. But good luck with your arena climbing, and I'll see you guys all on the next one.